Here we go. Do not adjust your sets, folks. Yes, yes, miracles happen. We don't have to wait till Christmas. Fiona managed to watch NWA. For those of you on YouTube, you can see doing her the Fiona shuffle. Better than the Carson shuffle, that's for
Damn right.
sure. Damn right it is. Hello, Fee.
Hello! My God, for the first time in 4 weeks, I got to see Power.
You
Wonders will
did.
never cease.
It won't. Wonders, welcome back. You're sadly missed. Well, obviously,
I
like
missed you. I missed you.
you missed me. God, we
And I
could have.
missed the show as well. I missed
Yeah,
chatting to you.
yeah, it is always fun. Like we say, it's never the same without you on these ones, especially well, interviews that you do with us and the NWA stuff. Before we get to NWA, I've got to shout out one more time to your team inside the ropes yesterday. For those of you that can see, this is a signed autograph from Big Daddy Cool himself, Diesel, Kevin Nash, that some of you may know him as. Went there yesterday. What a great show. I know it's in Newcastle tonight. You're going to Glasgow tomorrow to
I
see
am.
the big man himself. But again, I will say that I say this every time about Inside the Ropes. If you haven't been before, go and get yourself down there because you miss an absolute treat. The show last night was great. 2 hours with Nash. It was great. Kenny was asking some great questions. Nash was on form, went on a Trump rant. For those of you that you know Nash very, very well will know that's quite common. Told some funny stories as only Nash can do. It was a great show. But anytime they get somebody over here in the UK, you need to go and check it out because you're missing some great
I'm
stuff.
so sad I've missed last night and tonight. Stupid work, but
Boo
got to
work,
be a responsible grown up sometimes, and unfortunately, this is one of these moments. But talking of
indeed.
that, we do have RVD in Glasgow and Newcastle next week on Monday and Tuesday. So
There you
I think
go,
there's still
people.
some tickets left for that. So
What a
come
great
and join
name.
us. And no doubt it's inside the ropes. It's only February. Oh, we've also got D'Lo Brown in Glasgow on the
We
16th
do.
of March too.
We
But
do.
yeah, it's only February. You know Kenny, you know Inside the Ropes by now, or you should if you don't. There will be more. I
Well, he
guarantee
did.
there will be
He
more
did
this
kind of
year.
let the cat out of the bag yesterday because at some point, so during the show yesterday, I don't want to talk about this too long because we want to get to NWA, but Kevin Nash had to have a piss yesterday. He's 66 years old. He says I can't hold my drink. He's on water now. He's been sober for the last 4 months or so. I know you've been
Well
sober
done.
for like 4 years, Fee, and that's an amazing feat yourself. But he had to go for a wee, so we say. And Kenny
It
was
happens to the best of us.
Yeah, he was telling Kenny was telling us about nearly or throwing up during the Wade Barrett thing when Wade Barrett was going on this long rant about a Cena thing. And anyway, he got to the end of that, and someone asked who was coming over next, and he said the words that he would setting up a schedule with a current, I think he said Hall of Famer or legend in the business that's still in wrestling now, but he didn't go any further than that. Then the obvious names get thrown out, Stone Cold, and he said, well, he's not going to leave Texas. Jim Cornette's name got mentioned. He said he's not going to get on a plane again. So the usual. So anyway, find out. We just keep an eye on Inside the Ropes' socials.
Absolutely. And let me just finish that off by
Yes.
saying, don't come and ask me. I know I'm involved. Don't ask me for the simple reason that Kenny doesn't tell me until the very last second so that I don't open my mouth and spill it before it gets publicly announced.
There you go. And funny enough, it was like I don't even get told these things because Fiona doesn't know either. So if Fiona doesn't know, I'm not going to know until. I mean, sometimes I've even sprung it on her while we talk off air that, oh, Inside the Ropes have announced this, and you go,
I'm
have
like,
they?
what?
Yeah. But anyway, go and look at the stuff. It's great. Right, we'll get power in a minute, but obviously coming up as the NWA announced very, very soon, Crockett Cup. We're going to be in the Crockett Cup season. Double taping this weekend
Yeah,
of
back in
NWA.
Tampa. That's
So they're going to,
exciting.
yes, it is. And they're going to be doing, I think, a lot of the preliminary rounds of the
The first
Crockett
round
Cup
matches, yeah.
will be in there. I'm going to reel off some of the names that have been announced. The Hard Way, we saw them a couple of weeks ago on Power. They're going to be in there. They're an official entrant into the NBA. As are the country fucking gentlemen. Of course they are. Of course they are. Fuck off. Mims and Pope. Now that would be something that.
Interesting one.
Now, for those who
Interesting.
don't know, they Pope helped Mims beat El Dragon Nihar a couple of weeks ago, and there's a little bit on Power this week, which we'll get to. But they're teaming the Crockett Cup this year, so Mims and Pope
It's
together.
an interesting combination for me.
Yeah, last year's, well, very close winners, nearly. The Slime Balls are back in the Crockett Cup this year.
Another
Obviously,
bracket buster, potentially?
is it
I
a
don't
bracket
know.
buster
I don't think
anymore?
I would call them a bracket buster now. They are the current US tag champions, so you can't
There you
really call
go.
them a bracket buster. They are legitimate champions and legitimate contenders this year,
Yeah,
100%.
returning to the NWA Crockett Cup, the Colognes. They was runners up last year.
They were runners up. Always fun to watch them in the ring.
The Southern Six are back in it. Boo Kerry and AT, Too Hot to Trot, are back in there as well. The Good Brothers are in the Crockett Cup. That is too sweet. They are my pick. Sorry, Odinson and fuck, who's the guy? Fucking oh god,
Odinson and Kratos. I
Kratos.
can't believe you forgot that. That is outrageous, Adam.
You may not see that bit. So no,
I bet you
sorry,
edit that
chaps.
bit out.
I'm not going to.
Don't
No,
do
they're going to kill
it.
me, but I'll have to take it. That's my bad. Sorry,
They're
chaps.
supposed to be one of your favorite
They are
teams.
one of my favorite teams. I just had a brain fart for a minute,
So
and
I see.
there was a yeah, there was another younger team in it. Oh yeah, Jack and Eddie are in it. They look young. So I don't know a lot about these ones, so we'll have to see when they come. And the Wrestling Machines are in it, which is
They
slavey.
are pretty damn formidable. We'll get to them soon.
We will. It's going to be one of the most star-studded Crockett Cups in living memory, right? This is going to be a really, well, the tournament with the people that are involved in it are very big in terms of,
And
stature
that's
and
not even the
numbers.
half of it.
That's not even half the field.
No,
I mean, obviously, I would imagine the Immortals will be in there. Odinson and Kratos will be in there, I would have thought, as well.
of course.
And in champions would be in.
Nox, Murdoch,
Well, depends on the injury, doesn't it,
maybe?
to Noxie. So we'll get into that. He's obviously torn biceps. I know he's had the torn biceps for a while, but I don't know if it's going to be healed enough in time to be in this Crockett Cup. That's
We
for
will
sure.
see. Now, remember what we were watching was taped a little while ago, though, so there's been time in
That's true.
between. So,
Very true. That indeed. That is very true. One of the things we've got to mention as well, because we're playing a bit of catch up on the channel, the Hex are the tag team, the women's tag team champions.
congratulations, ladies.
Now, what we did see that week was obviously Tiffany Nieves and crew turning on her partner,
Valentina Rossi.
Valentina. We wondered why. Now, we know this was taped some time ago, but Valentina Rossi has been in the WWE tryout, has had or having a WWE tryout. Good luck, Nikki Blackheart, by the way. She was on the show recently and it was good. Interestingly enough, though, and just quickly on that, on NXT, not competing this week, but Nikki Blackheart was in the crowd, as was Richard Holliday.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, obviously Exodus Pro heavyweight champion as
He's so
well.
good.
He is. So we'll have to see what happens there. And lastly, one of the things, so two quick other things. The shocking defeat last week for the Page sisters. 2 weeks ago, they lost to Rowdy Roddy Piper's daughter, Teal Piper, and Vipress, I believe, was the other
Okay.
partner.
I
And
need to try and
that's
get back and watch these last few shows.
well, we'll see because obviously Kenzie does do a promo on this, basically saying Kylie didn't tap.
Yep.
I'm not too sure about that, but we'll have to we'll have a look at that in a minute. And the last bit was that obviously we're going to get into the main event shortly, but we were meant to have Thom Latimer and Silas Mason at the end of Samhain. That didn't happen because what I predicted did, just in a different way. Cardona attacks Latimer on the way to the ring. Latimer, I thought it was a little bit of a weak attack, if I'm honest, onto Latimer. He didn't get too much offense in, but it was enough to get Latimer to the back. And Billy did say that when Matt Cardona was next in NWA ring, he would have the heavyweight championship opportunity. Well, he did, and he lost. So there we go. Silas, of course, is champion, but that brings us to today. So we kind of caught up to date a little bit. Oh, and the slime balls retained over the country, gentlemen. Oh, did I laugh at that? Oh, that was fun.
Of course
Uh,
you did.
of course I did. I can't wait for them to come over in a couple of months. Yeah, like a fucking hole in the
I'd be
head.
hiding if I was you. They'll bring that big branding iron right on your head.
I don't, I'm not
Bullhead
scared.
Ranch, right across there.
I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of the
Brave.
country
You're a
gentlemen.
brave human.
Anyway,
I know
let's
how
move.
tall AJ is.
Don't scare me. He's a pussycat. He's a Kazana. Anyway, let's let's move on to Power this week called Run It Back. Do you know what though? What I've liked about Power, and I know they do it too much a little bit. The video package at the start for Latimer and Silas was fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, really enjoyed that.
I
Particularly
mean,
given that I haven't seen the show for the last month.
yeah, literally
So
about to
it
say
was it
that.
was kind of good for me to kind of get up to speed with where the two of them are at.
They had a couple. They had obviously had a brawl and everything else. Silas once Latimer to kiss his feet and whatnot else. So it had some nice meat to the bones ready for the main event.
Absolutely.
Got your main event ready, so to speak, like you needed to be because that's a huge. This will be a huge match that we'll get to in a minute. But the opening contest, do you know what? I could see these two wrestle all day. I didn't really
Oh,
too hot
I'd
to trot.
love, yeah.
Oh my
This could have
God.
been an Iron Man 60-minute match and it still wouldn't have been long enough for me.
Yeah, too hot to trot. AT obviously he obviously lost his championship recently. Damien Fenrir, who's been really impressive this last sort of, I don't know, 6 to 8 months that we've seen
Yeah.
him on NWS, had some great matches. These two, I mean, you just like you said, you could just sit there and watch these two all day, couldn't you?
AT does not get the credit he deserves, I don't think.
He was hung over
Maybe
though.
a little bit more so now.
Mm,
I feel like he's starting to shine a lot more now, and they're starting to put a bit more of a spotlight on him. But man, that kid is kid. He's not kid, but you know what I mean. He's super
yeah,
talented. He
yeah,
looked in brilliant shape as well.
he did. Considering he just got married
He had, and we'll
at
get to
this
that
point.
shortly.
Yeah, just got married. He was hungover, but nevertheless, this was a really, really good match. Again, two great showcases for these two. Fenrir clearly is one now that has really cemented himself into the NWA, and not one that's come from really the territories. Fenrir
No,
is.
yeah, I'm not really sure. Is he a Florida boy? I can't
Hmm,
remember.
maybe. I'll have to do some digging. I have to get him on the show as well, Fenrir. I'd like to speak to him at some point. Nevertheless. It was Fenrir that blocked the sunset flip into a cover. And you could argue, we mentioned bracket busters earlier. You could argue this one was a bit of an upset that
Yeah.
AT losing again. He's
Well,
obviously
that's
lost.
it. It's not often that AT goes for the green whistle and fails.
That's right. He did. He did on this occasion, as you say. He did. He didn't hit the green whistle in this one. He got the elbows to the head. Did Fenrir and two in a row now for AT. It's
He's not
Yeesh.
a happy man, is he? Let's be honest.
No, but again, and this was a little bit confusing to me. I didn't know who face and the heel was in this. And I had this with another match that we'll get to in a minute as well.
Okay.
I was kind of confused because, like, normally the face would always be like pumping up the crowd. I didn't see this in the next two, this one and the next one that we'll get to. Um, I didn't see either of them, either of the four, really go, trying to get the crowd going, but they were
I'll
getting reactions a little bit.
yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't really notice it to be fair. I wasn't really sitting watching it and noticing that. I was just kind of blown away by how technical that match
That
was.
was great. Yeah, it really was. It really was great. And obviously you were just in awe because you could watch it as
Well,
well.
yeah, okay, I don't think it would have to have been an absolute shit show for me to say anything bad last night, let's be honest.
It was a great match, though. It was a great opening contest. And Fenrir, though, he's cool. He's got to be knocking on the doors. Oh, him and Slade. Yes,
That's a
please.
tasty one.
That would be an interesting match. Oh, one of the other things that we forgot to mention, sorry, it's just come to me because I was thinking of championships, is Brian Idol is lucky seven now. He can cash in.
Oh, okay.
He's hit it.
Interesting.
He won it last week. I believe last week was his lucky seven opportunity. He's now got that chance against the Thrillbilly. So would you be brave enough to do it against the Thrillbilly?
Would I be brave enough to what, sorry?
Would you if you were Idol? go against Thrillbilly for you? Would you take that lucky seven?
I think if I was idol, I would because I would believe my own hype. But from the outside, sitting on my sofa as I am, not being a wrestler as I am, I think it's a daft move.
Yeah, is that your dafty? Is that what you guys call it?
A
Scotland.
dafty. Yeah, I don't
Dafty.
think it's his smartest move, but if I was idol in his position, why not?
Mm. I think he needs
You've
to.
got to take a chance when it's given to you, and he's got this opportunity.
Well, he has earned it, hasn't he? Lucky seven, 7 wins gives you that, gives you Z opportunity
But it's
again.
that whole, for me, it's that whole, I've got a belt, do I want to throw it away?
You know,
Where there's a chance I'm going to walk away with nothing.
and of course with Silas, you got to think about Kerry and Taylor as well at the same time.
And Silas is, he's a formidable opponent.
Mm.
He's also very unpredictable, and you don't quite know whether you're going to get crazy, wound up, psycho Silas or whether you're going to get calm, calculating Silas. And they're two very, very different people, it seems.
And of course, these two have got history. This last
Mhm.
year was when Idol damaged his shoulder in the match against the Thrillbilly when he threw the chair at him and he
Yep.
landed on the shoulder. So there's history there as well. So Idol may think that this is what better way to get your own back on Thrillbilly than to take away the thing that he's just won, the £10 of gold.
I'm going to say something that some people aren't going to like. I can't see Brian Idol
No,
as NWA World Champion. And
neither
I've
can I.
said this about other people in the
Mm.
past. My NWA World Champions are people like Silas,
Hmm.
Tom, old
Yeah,
school wrestlers
yeah,
like Tim Storm, like
yeah,
Trevor Murdoch,
yeah.
that kind of thing. Like I just, it's like I think it was Kerry we were talking about, and I was saying I couldn't
Mhm.
see Kerry
Yeah,
as world champ.
you did.
Not
Yeah,
yet, anyway.
yeah,
I think they need to have a little more time in the proving grounds for me personally.
yeah. Well, we'll find out, right? He's got the opportunity. So we'll see if Idol takes it or not. Is he does he have to? Is that can he or can he is it a case of is his eighth defense him signaling that he's not going for it? I don't know how this works. Have they
I'm not
always cashed it
sure.
in? Okay, I'll
I'm
have to
not sure
make
because everyone has cashed it in.
right. I need to ask the deal
So
man then, don't I? I
I
need to ask
think
Danny
you
Dills.
I would kind of hope that it would just be a case of you can keep that belt for 2 years if you want, but you're only allowed to cash it in after 7 attempts.
Yeah, that's what I want to find. I'm gonna have to ask the Danny Deals and Co. Maybe they know the answer to that. So I'll put that out there on social media at the end, and we'll see what see if we get a
Or
response
if
there.
any of you guys are watching or listening and you know the answer,
Let
put
us
a wee
know.
comment at the bottom and tell us because I
I
don't
ain't
know the
got
answer to that one.
I ain't got Scooby Doo. If you don't know, I ain't gonna know. So that's that done. We need to find out. We'll talk about the aforementioned Thrillbilly. He had a little promo again. A lot of promos ahead of the world. Do you know what? I was looking at these promos. We'll talk about both. Get them out. Let's get the Thrillbilly promos out of the way. Other than MJF, well, actually, I'm going to rephrase that. The three best promos in wrestling right now: MJF, CM Punk, Thrillbilly Silas Mason. In
I
my
think
opinion,
that's a fair, I think that's a
Thrillbilly.
fair choice.
Yeah, I love, and you hit the nail on the head where you went. At 1 minute, one breath, he is in your face, he's screaming at you. And then the next minute, he's a cold, calculated killer and he's too calm for my liking.
But he's in both those
Mm.
ways, he's so intense.
He is.
Whether
What are you
he's
looking at?
shouting and got the crazy eyes, he's so intense. But even when he's holding it in and he's calculated and calm, he's still so, so intense. His promos are outstanding at the moment.
I think he's really come into his own a lot
I
more.
think he's the best on the mic in NWA at the moment, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone better than Silas at the minute. I mean, there's no one better than Silas, full stop at the minute, because he's the world heavyweight champion, of course.
Indeed.
But he is incredible on the microphone. Anyway, he was saying to Thom Latimer that time ticks by fast and that Tom's time was coming up. So we'll see about that in
We
in a
will
bit.
indeed.
Bit Crush. Now this has turned into a video game store now. I've noticed Bit Crush changes.
I think it's whatever you want it to be,
Well, it was a
basically.
video game store this week because
It
Daisy
was.
Kill was in there trying to find a video game, and he found his video game, but he had was a complaint because this video game was meant to have a picture of Daisy Kill on it, and he didn't.
Daisy Kill.
I think it's a bit longer than that.
Yeah, I wasn't going that long.
I think it's something like
And with a
Daisy
bit more
Kill.
aggression.
All right, well, he can do it better than me, right? He's the rock
No,
star.
we can.
He's the rock star.
Loving the crop top, loving the crop t-shirt and crop denim jacket vibe.
Yeah, he was certainly rocking a vibe, at a bit crushed. But he did ask the guy. I never forget remember the guy's name. It sits below
Billy.
me. It's not
Another
Billy.
Billy.
Is it Billy?
Well,
Okay. Well, he was saying that that he's kind of missing something. That Daisy Kill's missing something. He missing a partner, or something along those lines. And
obviously Talos is
yeah, they've gone
out
their
the
separate
picture at the
ways.
moment.
Well, they've gone their separate ways as well. That was what Talos told us that himself that they've gone. They're doing a singles
Yeah,
jig at the minute, and we know Talos has been away, Japan. I think he went to England. I'm pretty sure he filmed something over here in
yeah.
England. And anyway, he said about Daisy Kill's open challenge, and Daisy Kill's like, I like it, but I don't like the open challenge bit. We're gonna call it Reign of Terror. Is what he's going to call it, and it was going to be a good time.
Good time.
Thank you. And that was what come up, but not straight away because before we get to the Daisy Kill Open Reign of Terror, sorry, shall I say, which started on Power, we went to see Aaron and the boys
The Federation of
and
Champions.
Carson Drake.
And
uh,
Carson Drake, yeah,
and
which
Carson
is
Drake.
hilarious. I love that he doesn't have a belt and everyone else does.
But he did signal
And
his
LJ,
intent.
LJ just standing mean and moody in the background.
LJ. Every time I see him, I just think of Matt Riddle. I really do.
Yeah, it's
He
the
looks so
hair.
much yeah, of Matt Riddle. And but Carson has signaled his intent here at the £10 of gold during. I don't know if he's got a death wish either, but he's got a well
He's
something.
got a good bunch of stablemates around him, though.
I
Never
mean,
ever underestimate that. And never, ever, ever underestimate Aaron Stevens.
no. And if you're thinking about what you're saying about stablemates, there are people that can neutralize the Southern Six. Well, you've got what, five people there?
Yeah.
Slade, Mondo, the Slime Balls, and LJ.
Hmm.
And Aaron, of course. I mean,
And Aaron,
forget about
exactly.
Aaron in this. So yeah, interesting that Carson Drake is. I love the Slime Balls rocking up late, and then they were
They're
like,
hilarious.
and then there's like the
Absolutely
Federation of
hilarious.
Champions and the Slime Balls, but that's not fair because the Slime Balls are champions,
They are champions, exactly.
the US Tag Team Champions. So
I
it's
wonder
it's.
if Carson feels slightly inadequate at the moment.
I don't know. Carson's just well, he's
I'm
something else.
surprised Aaron's not kicked him to the curb, to be honest with you.
You're getting the enemies now. Carson's
But
gonna.
come on, do you really think that Aaron wants a non-champion in his stable?
Well,
Just putting that out there.
yeah, probably not is the
There
answer.
you go. See?
But he probably knows potential when he sees it. That's maybe
Ah,
where
okay,
he's
fair
looking.
point.
That's maybe where we're looking at. But I don't know. But Carson's signaling his intent at the World Heavyweight Champion. Good luck with that,
He might need
Carson.
to fight Brian first.
That's a possibility. Yeah, that could well happen. Or you
Or
may
fight
be.
Brian for the spot.
Or yeah, or just wait as your line, wait in line, because Brian's technically got that whenever he wants to choose it, whenever he shout. Well, I should imagine he's got to make a decision pretty soon
Yeah.
on that. So we'll see on that, and I'm going to throw that. I say, if you guys know the answer to the lucky seven, I am going to throw it out there on social media as well. But it was time for the Daisy Kill Reign of Terror, which is essentially an open challenge, ladies and gentlemen. And it was answered by the guy that I see now on my YouTube every Friday at JCW. Too hot. I know, not too hot to trot. The climax. Kerry Morton. Boo Kerry.
Boo Kerry.
Boo Kerry. Boo
But
Kerry.
I struggled to say that there. I'm
Hmm?
actually starting to turn a little bit. He
Hold
posted
on.
something on social media the other week that made it really difficult for me to boo him.
Ooh.
I don't know if you saw it, but a little kid wrote him this massive letter.
Yes, I
Like,
did.
hand
I
wrote
did
him a
see that.
letter.
Yeah, I did see that.
And
That was
Kerry
very
posted
nice.
the letter, and the little kid was asking him all about wrestling and did it hurt and what was his favorite this and who did he like growing up and did he always want to be a wrestler, blah, blah, blah. And it was a lovely, sweet letter
It
from this
was.
kid. And Kerry hand wrote him a letter back and answered all his questions. And I even commented on it and I was like, how am I supposed to boo Kerry after that? Like, he wrote a really, really sweet response. And now I'm like, maybe you're not an asshole after all.
Maybe he's not.
This cold boo Kerry heart is melting.
Oh, Kerry Morton is melting the heart of Fiona. But again, I have the question on this. Who was the heel and who was the face?
Again, this one didn't really bother me.
It didn't bother me, but I was just sitting there going, hold on a minute. Who?
What I did laugh at though was Daisy Kill through the rope going, I didn't ask for Kerry Martin.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, mate, it's your reign of terror stroke open challenge. You don't
Well, I
get to
thought,
choose.
no. Do you know what? I had this horrible feeling that El Dragon Nihal was going to come out
You
at
really
that
don't
point.
like him, do you?
I just no. That's another enemy from the NWA on one. And he's a big bastard, that one. So I'm in trouble. But no, I don't. But there was that. I did like the bit where the girl hesitated to kiss Kerry Morton as well.
I know it was well. See, I'm not gonna lie, I did giggle at that. Like he sat down on her knee, and then I was like, "Oh my God,
Lucky you weren't there.
fair play to him." Although I'm missing the red jacket. I mean, I like the new one's fine, but it's not the red starry one. So
Lucky you weren't there. You would have had to do that. Kiss Kerry Morton.
no, I'd probably have run away.
Anyway, do you know what
Sorry,
though,
Kerry.
right?
I'm
For,
warming to you, but not that much.
you've got a long way to go yet, Kerry, before that. This was a total opposite of the first match, but it was equally as enjoyable because it was totally opposite of the first match. This was more of like a striking match. The first one was technical. There was a lot of technical stuff
Yeah,
about it. This one was just pure sort of striking in the middle of the ring, and
and a couple of big takedowns.
and a couple of big takedowns on top of it. But I liked it though. I thought I liked the match that it was a slower pace. It was wrestled. You can't. We didn't have massively fast pace at the first match, but because of the way that they wrestled it, as I say, it was a technical. So there was a lot of quick moves in their sense. Not necessarily quick in the pace of the wrestlers, but it was pacey. The moves was quite pacey in the first one,
Yeah,
and to have this one toned down a little bit and to have it a bit more of a slow, methodical build to it. I really enjoyed
and
that
even
because it was a
like
nice contrast.
the old school fish hooks and all that malarkey.
Yeah,
I'm like, yes, get in there. Like,
I did really like that. I did. I thought that was great. I really liked the way they done that because you could have done that because Kerry can be quite quick in there and he could have
yeah,
done that, but he didn't, which I felt was really good. We did see the good time Bulldog in this,
we did.
but it
We
wasn't enough.
did.
Didn't get the job done.
It did
Um,
not.
he did not. The good time ball didn't. But a victory because even Kerry missed Kiss It Goodbye in this as well.
He
He
did.
went for it, didn't
He
hit it.
did. And then when Kerry was up on Daisy's shoulders, I was kind of like, oh,
Mm.
oh, didn't really know. But obviously, yeah, it didn't quite go Daisy's way, did it?
No, the fish hook to the nose and the victory roll. So we've had two matches. Two have ended up with kind of like small packagey type finishes, really. We had the one, obviously the Fenrir one was one where Alex Taylor went for the sunset flip and he caught his legs and dropped down, and this one
Yeah.
was a victory roll from the shoulders of. So the Daisy Kill Reign of Terror hasn't really got off to the best of starts.
No. But obviously he wasn't prepared for Kerry.
No,
Which I was laughing at Danny about. He was like, he wasn't prepared. And I was like, how can you be prepared when you don't know who's coming out? When
exactly.
Tim Storm made that very same like kind of statement. He's like, you don't know who's coming out. You don't know if they're coming out at 350 pounds. You don't know if they're coming out as a high flyer. You don't know who's coming out. But you
Oh,
can't issue a reign of terror or open challenge and then go, I didn't want them.
no, exactly. So it was tough, Daisy. Sorry, you asked for it really in this case, so you got it. Like it or not, you lost.
Yeah, I'm not holding out much hope for Daisy's reign of terror, unfortunately.
I don't know. I have no clue with that. We'll see what happens the next time he has one. When that's going to be.
Maybe
That's
maybe it was like a one match reign of terror and that's it. Maybe he's given up.
and that's
He's
the
packed
only
his
thing.
dummy and
Like
gone home.
he might have done, but that's the thing with it now. Hopefully, because what the NWA has been doing great is they've carried things on when they've started something. It's not just gone away. It's been carried
Not
on.
like it used to. They've definitely got so much better at that lately.
Yeah, so hopeful with the Daisy Kill Reign of Terror that it carries on, and I would love it. And this is what I was half expecting this week, and we didn't get it. I was actually expecting Talos to answer the challenge of Daisy Kill.
I didn't even think about that. Wow. Those guys have known each other forever.
Yeah.
Like they know each other inside out. That could actually, despite the quite obvious height
So I still,
difference, that could actually be very interesting.
still remember when they done that backstage thing and Daisy Kill had to stand on the ladder to get to the height of Talos. When he was... Anyway, we'll see what happens with the Daisy Kill Reign of Terror, but not off to the best of starts. We got the new fixers in a promo
Yeah,
before their
Lugarski and JAC.
as JSC and pretty much all JAC kept saying was yeah.
Fixers.
Yeah. So we had fixers and then we had yeah. That was well, but Legursky's more of a, you know, what the old style hacksaw Jim Duggan now, isn't he? He's all USA. That just
Yeah,
needs a
very
fucking
much
two by
so.
four and they'll be off at the races with that. They'll have the new hacksaw Jim
I
Duggan.
don't think he needs a two by four.
No, he is a two by four. He's he's a fucking he's literally a bowling. He should call himself bowling ball Legursky because he's the fucking he's Jesus. He's a
There you go. The big Lugarski, as in Big Lebowski, the big Lugarski.
there you go. That's
See what I
it.
did there?
Hey, you're starting to get the Adamisms that I do. It's only taken you 2 years, but
I
you're
know.
starting to go into my. You're now
That's
starting
it, the
to get
big
it.
Lugarski.
Yeah, it's gotta
That's
be, isn't it?
copyrighted, Billy
Yeah, that is
and
copyright.
Lugarski.
Yeah, you can't use
Royalties
that.
this way, please.
Yeah, you'll
Thank
have
you
to
very
you'll
much.
have to pay a fee in a case to obtain that, which is I thought that was brilliant.
Thank you.
However.
You're welcome.
That was very good. Yeah, that was very, very good indeed. We saw Knox and Murdoch as well. They were taking on well, Murdoch's got Tyler Stevens later, who I actually didn't know was tag teaming with my good friend. Well, I would say good friend, but I'm going to have to get into that in a minute. Tom Mercer, and he's about 6'6" as well, and that was WrestleForce of all places. And yeah, so we were talking about Tyler Stevens at the weekend before shit hit the fan, and I'll get into that afterwards. So yeah, so Knox didn't know who he was, and Murdoch. Oh no, sorry, Murdoch didn't know who he was. Knox was like, "Do you need my help?" And he was like, "Nah, it's all right, don't worry." It's like, "I got it covered, mate. Don't worry." I love them too. I think they're so They remind me a little bit of our Dave on the channel in the terms of like he's got this dry humor. He just says something, but he'll say it. Do you know like the comedian Jack D? I'm showing my
Hmm.
age here, right? The way that he delivers, he just delivers it pan-faced,
Deadpan.
boom. David's like that, and so is Knox, and especially Murdoch's like that. And they just crack me up them too. I think they're great. But
Do you
yeah,
know what
later
I
on,
miss with them though? I miss the jackalope.
well, they might bring it back. They might bring it back,
I wonder
but
what happened to the jackalope.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
sorry.
Another question to ask everybody. What happened to the jackalope? Anybody or Knox and Murdoch? If you're watching this, what happened to the jackalope? Please. We go from that to the damn right nuts, the Lost. Now, obviously, last week Carson beat Alex Misery,
Okay, I have
which he
yet
did,
to see that.
which he did gloat about in the Aaron the promo earlier, we didn't mention. But the lost, the madness is continuing with the Lost by the sound of it. They're not quite finished with Carson by the sounds of it, anyway. Or Misery isn't. Gags didn't say anything, unsurprisingly, just stuck his tongue out at us, and
And it's not over from Aaron for Aaron either, by the sounds of things. How they
no,
finished that promo off, Aaron, we want your soul.
yes.
I think if
Well,
I was Aaron, I'd be a little tiny bit afraid.
well, he was ended up in a casket the other week, didn't he? He did end up
This
in
is
a. So you should know these things by now, Aaron. That you don't do. Well, people that you just don't annoy, and Misery. Well, we know firsthand that you don't do that. So
Do
anyway, the new fixers were next. JAC, £350. He's a fucking lean £350 because he.
we know what JAC stands for?
I think they said it once. Another
Just
question
curious.
for everybody. Um, but
I'm full of the questions tonight.
you are £350 over. He's a fucking lean 350, and he doesn't look like that's what they
350, is that what
the,
they said JAC was?
that yeah, because they said the combined weight was £750. Legursky at 400 and JAC at 350. Because I've even got on there in question
There's
mark.
no way JAC's 350. No way.
I couldn't believe it. That's why I've got it written down in like with like the question marks next to it. There's
No
no
way.
way. No way is he 350. Like he can't be.
I'm just Googling just now, just to see what comes up.
Lots of blind tags in this one, by the way,
There
with the wrestling
was.
machines.
There
Slade
was.
and
I
Mondo.
like this though. I enjoyed this, but holy shit, JAC took some amount of beating in this.
He did. He did. I do, but I did like the fact that this was like you kind of had Mondo, who's like a. Oh, go on. You're going to say something.
JAC,
Hmm,
Jesse Alexander Carter.
there we go. What about the weight?
£264 according to Cage Match.
Fucking hell, what did he do? Take a shit before he come out and like lost 90 pounds. It's like that's a hell of a difference in weight,
That
isn't it?
that's Cage
Okay.
Match telling me he's £264.
Okay. Well, they were not quite 350 then, guys. Bloody hell, that is
Yeah.
Jesus, that's a drop and a half. That bloody hell. And I feel like if there was ever going to be like another fixer, we had obviously they had Jay Bradley. They were talking about JAC. Mondo would make a great fixer.
Do you
Just
think?
because he looks like Popeye after the spinach.
This is true.
He's
This is true.
he could do it. But anyway, lots of blind tags, which we like. But again, a totally different match from the other two that we've already
Yeah.
seen, which was great because once again, that's what we're looking for, right? There's a bit of variety in this. When Wrecking Ball did get in, I mean, Jesus, he was trying to take their heads off, literally, yeah, in this. He was going crazy. There was
Couple
a lot
stink faces.
stink faces, power slams. But again, now this is where I got a bit confused because they done another blind tag on Legursky, but they hit the gut check on JAC and pinned J. I never saw JAC tag back in unless I missed it.
I'm gonna need to go back and watch it again. I didn't even notice that. I
Again,
just automatically presumed he was the legal man, so
no, I don't think he was. That's well. I mean, again, I could be wrong. Maybe he did. Maybe they did get a tag and I missed it, but I don't know. No idea. But we'll see. Anyway, the wrestling machines pick up the win in this. I wonder if JAC and Legursky will be in the Crockett Cup.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I like to. Maybe
I'd
potentially.
really like to see some teams that we don't know though.
Oh,
I
we already
know there's
mentioned
loads
one.
of territories and there's loads of tag
Hmm.
teams that could come from the territories, but I'd love to see some more outside tag
Like
teams,
Gallus or
like Gallus.
somebody like that would be
Would
incredible. I'd
be
like to.
marvelous. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of teams out there. We like to have. It was a couple of years ago. There was the what are they called Rewind Society coming, didn't they? They were a part of it a few years ago. We had
Yeah.
the Samoans. come into it not too long ago as well. So it's nice to have those names that are not necessarily assigned to the territories. Even like we had the Stew Crew, didn't we?
Yeah.
They were a part of it
So
one year.
traditionally, there's what, 16 teams traditionally?
Yeah, because they had the buy-in, didn't they, to be the number 16 spot? Didn't they have like a
Yeah.
little battle royal or something like that, didn't they, to be there?
So there is time, but it'll be interesting to see how many first round matches there is this weekend.
Yeah, well, the wait, wouldn't we? And that's the problem because by the time that we see it, they would have aired the Crockett Cup and we'll know who is there.
Yeah, which really, that's like, I know we're kind of getting off track a bit here, but that's like the Crockett Cup's in April.
Yeah,
I can't imagine
we're
these
not going to see
first
it
round
before then.
matches will air on TV before the Crockett Cup. So if you're going to the Crockett Cup live and these
Like last
matches
year.
haven't aired, you're gonna have total spoilers.
Yeah, and you're gonna, and that was the same as last year, if you remember.
Yeah,
Because it was like, I can't remember who it was. Something had happened, and we're like, oh, we didn't know they were even in it, like,
yeah.
let alone were there. So yeah, that's going to happen again this year. So if you go to the Crockett Cup fee, you're going to know um, what's going on.
It's yeah, I wanted to do the Crockett Cup this year, but I don't think it's going to work out. I'm still looking at it.
Yeah,
Realistically, we're probably looking at if I'm going to get to a show, it's probably going to be the anniversary one.
nice, nice. No spoilers. You'll have to come on here and be like, oh, I forgot
Oh
about
no, what happened? Oh, I wonder.
that. Yeah, exactly. Tyler Stevens was next. Anyway, he was building things brick by brick. And
Yep.
then from brick by brick to prick by prick, the Kazanas were on.
Oh,
Um,
that is savage.
they didn't apparently the slime balls didn't win by the book last time, apparently.
Of course they didn't.
You know, and everything will be
Nobody does
done,
anything by the book unless they're a Kazana.
and now it's all going to be done by the book. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Aaron Stevens, Tyler Stevens against Murdoch was next. 10-minute time limit on this one.
Yep,
This was a fight, wasn't it? For what
it
it
was a
was.
fight. Didn't
And
really
we
need the 10 minutes though.
didn't need it, no. And again, different from the other match because this was just a slugfest, to want of a better phrase.
Yeah.
I did like,
Couple of banging clotheslines.
yeah, I was going to literally just about to say that the clotheslines on this were amazing. I really, oh, I really enjoyed this for what it was. I thought it was a great match with Murdoch and Stevens and the Bulldog. I love that. We haven't seen. Gee, when was the last time you see a Bulldog? I mean, obviously when Murdoch wins a match, he normally does it
When
with
was the last time you saw Trevor up on the top rope?
it was a while back. I do remember him doing it, and I just can't remember when. I don't know. Was it against Latimer? Did he do
I
it
don't
against Latimer?
know.
Because he hasn't been single in so long, has he? Because he's
No.
been teaming with Noxie. So now that we're going to see this a lot more. I'm sure he done it against Latimer in that number one contenders match. I'm pretty sure he
Okay.
did. Anyway, he did win, and then at the end of this, Smooth comes out with
Why?
with a chain. And again, I know I keep arguing on about face, heel, who's what. Murdoch's a heel from what we know. Well,
Is
there
he
have been
though?
well the stuff with Smalls and Latimer and everything like that.
I
That was,
suppose,
and
but
then Smooth has been a face, or the Holy Grail have been faces from what we again from an assumption based really there more than anything else. He comes and does that with the chain to
don't forget the lip
Murdoch.
salve.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then leaves with the with EC3 and who's still there at this point and past the sealer.
Yeah. I don't know.
What's going on? Like who are
I'm
we supposed to
hoping
cheer
there'll be
for in
some
this?
explanation moving forward for that.
Yeah, I just want to know who to cheer and who to boo. Apart from Kerry, of course, which is already done. It's
I
you.
mean, even that's getting hard for me.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
lines are getting blurred.
Very blurred. Very, very blurred. So anyway, Murdoch, yes, Murdoch wins. Price though this week, and we'll see what happens with that. Um, Mims and Pope are on the same page now, apparently. That's what we,
Interesting. I think we spoke about that at the start.
yeah. Crockett Cup in the Crockett Cup, so
I'm
it'll be
intrigued
interesting
to
to
see
see.
how this goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the break bit first, and then we'll talk about Latimer and Silas. So Kenzie, like I already mentioned, apparently Kylie didn't tap, and she wants to split this teams together. So she's going to go against Till Piper, which means the prettiest prima donna Kylie will end up eventually going against Viperous at some point. I'm looking forward to seeing both of those matches.
Yeah.
But it was more to do with the first part of this, which was Markova and Giselle Shaw, who had a great match. You need to go and watch that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
They had a great match. Looks like Giselle Shaw's not finished in the NWA either, by the sound of
That's
this.
good.
Attacked though by Tiffany Nieves, Sam Starr, and Greta, who coincidentally, everyone, I should be interviewing Greta tomorrow as part of NWA Spotlight. Choke slamming Mark over through the table in this,
Because
Greta.
why not? And Tiffany was mad. Like she's proper fired up.
But again, I'm thinking to myself, that's got to be lucky seven, right? She's got to be close if she's
She
not
must
there.
be. She must be.
And
I've kind of lost track of all of that just because I haven't been able to watch for the
yeah,
last little while.
true.
So
I think if they don't put it on Tiffany when she goes for it, I can't see Tiffany winning it because my thing is, I don't see in the next 12 months, I don't see Tiffany Nieves being in the NWA. I see her being signed somewhere in the next 12 to 18 months,
I think she'd
perhaps.
be a badass champion.
And I think that nothing against Markova, she absolutely got there in the end. But I think when you look at it, we've said this, and I know I've certainly said it. The last 18 months, Tiffany Nieves has been the MVP of the NWA, especially the women's
100%.
division, and I feel she deserves it. I just think that she deserves she
Has she
deserves the
still got
right.
the TV
Yeah,
championship?
that's what I'm saying about
Yeah.
Lucky Seven. She's
Yeah.
she's got to be
All
there.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Oh,
got
it
to
was
be there.
I got confused. It was the tag belts that they
Yeah,
don't
they
have
lost
any.
them
Right.
to
Yeah.
the Hex. Yeah, the Hex beat them last week or the week before. So she's got to be close. Got to be close. But
Yeah. You think?
I just think that a bit like Markova, Tiffany had the quite a few opportunities over the last sort of 18 months where sort of back end of the 18 months where Kenzie was champ and they were
Yeah.
going through the motions with those two and it didn't quite materialize for Tiffany. It gets to a point where if you don't win it, and we'll get into this again in a minute, you're not going to. And I feel Tiffany's at that time now. It's to quote WWE, it's Tiffy time, right?
Never, never.
Yeah, but it really is. Or I don't. I just don't see Tiffany again. No disrespect to the NWA. When we get to 2028, I don't see Tiffany Nevers being in the NWA in 2028. I know it's
2028, for
yeah,
two
it's like
years from now.
it's about 12 to 18 months away. Back end of 2027. I don't know when the contract's due. Obviously, that's another thing that could we don't know when the contracts are up. But secondly, I
Yeah.
just don't see her being there. I don't see her being in the NWA much longer. I think she's close, if not, no, she hasn't been in the tryouts or anything like that, but doesn't mean to say you're not going to get signed anywhere. It's just
No, true. Very true.
anyway. So we've got rid of all the breaks. Now we get to the big one. £10 of gold. Latimer.
I was looking forward to this one.
Oh my God, so was I. And I did. And they didn't waste any fucking time, did they? That was Latimer straight. As soon as Latimer and so as soon as Silas clapped eyes on him, they were straight out fighting outside of this.
Yeah, it took a little while for that bell to ring.
The bell didn't ring until just before the break.
Yeah.
They were all over it. They were all over everywhere. There was a cross. I mean, it was like I think Latimer dive. Well, he done like a drop kick dive through the
Drop
ropes,
kick
didn't
through
he?
the ropes. Yeah.
Latimer punched the post. No, Thrillbilly with a fucking
Yeah,
punch.
because Tom managed to duck at the last minute.
Oh, that look that
That
fucking
must have hurt.
oh, that yeah, that really must have hurt. There was obviously when we got back from the break, there was suplex inside the ring, but this is for me, and I spoke to you about this before we come on the air, before we come on here. The match wasn't massively long. Latimer didn't get a massive amount of offense in this either, not really, anyway. And before you knew, I mean, to be fair, Silas was working on his back with the bear hugs and stuff like that so
Yeah.
that he couldn't hit the brighter side of suffering. Um, but one thrill ride, 4 minutes in, 5 minutes in, is done. Finished. Done. One, two, three. Clean as a whistle. No outside interference.
And Tom was almost desperate as well. The fact that he was like biting Silas on the head to get out the bear hug and
Hmm.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's it
It
was
I thought the
decisive.
match would have gone longer. I was not expecting it to be over as quick as it was.
Well, that's what concerned me when I saw the Daisy Kill Reign of Terror thing. So I was like, why has that been added? And then I was thinking, are we not going to get the Latimer Messiah? Is something else going to happen that's going to prevent this match? I made when they started it and they started brawling and the bell hadn't gone, I thought they were going to throw it out. And
Right.
then we weren't going to get to the match. It was just going to be, we're going to come back from the break. There was still, I know the bell went off before the break, but I had this idea of they were going to be fighting here, there, and everywhere. They were going to come back from the break. They were trying to separate them. They couldn't do it. So it goes off the air with them having a fight, basically just them having a fight. That's how I saw it at that point. But obviously it didn't happen. Latimer, sorry, not Latimer, Silas picks up the, a comprehensive and decisive victory, which
Yeah.
then leads to the question, which is what I was saying to you beforehand. Um, what now for Latimer?
Well, that's it. Like, he's lost a legitimate shot at the championship.
Hmm.
He wasn't victorious.
No.
What do you do next? That's the top belt in the company, arguably one of the top belts in the world.
Hmm.
Anything else you go for is a step down
Yeah.
within the NWA at least. And that's not me shitting on the other
No.
champions, but
Agree.
the £10 of gold is your top
Top tier.
is your top title, your top prize. So why would you go for something less?
You wouldn't, would you? That's the whole point. You wouldn't go for it.
It
You would.
doesn't it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Makes zero sense.
And like I've always thought that as well, though, like no matter where, it's like, well, if you've had your title shot, unless he's going to do a Mark over and be like a dog with a bone and just go for it and go for it and go for it and get title shot, title shot, title shot until he actually gets it.
Um, First thing quickly on that, he did offer the handshake. Thrillbilly walked away on that, so he didn't.
I'm not surprised.
No, but that may be
There's a lot of
why.
animosity between the two of them.
Yeah, that may be why we get another match. I don't know, but I said to you before we come on that I think Latimer and the NWA is done. Then I'll stick by that, and I'll come on here and said it now. So if Latimer's watching this, I'm sure you'll. I'm sure I'll add you to the enemy list if it's not the case. But
It's
I
getting
feel
bigger
like
by
he's
the
done.
day.
Yeah, but on the other side of this, and I must say to everybody that those of you that have watched NWA that haven't seen Latimer's social media, he's cut his hair and it's short.
Got a short back and sides.
He's got a short, and he looks 20 years old. As if you can't be more envious of this bastard, right? The guy's fucking chiseled out of stone. He's a walking fucking sunbed, and he cuts his fucking hair and then looks 20 years younger than what he did before he cut it. I can barely raise a smile at 40 years old. This guy's nearly 40 years old and he's walking around looking like a fucking bronze Adonis. That's just me being very, very
Just good
jealous.
genes, I'm guessing.
Jeez. Guys are fucking chiseled out of bloody stone or pearl or in gold or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Anyway, my fear is that Latimer's done in the end of it. That's my view on it. He's done.
As far as I'm aware, he's due in Tampa at the tapings this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see
Interesting.
what he does when he's
Indeed.
there.
Indeed, it'll be interesting. Well, we finally got to watch an NWA for the first together. And well, not
Yeah,
together, but we finally got to watch it.
it was
Uh,
nice.
it
I
was
enjoyed
nice.
it.
It was
I
a
am going
nice.
to try and watch the other ones this evening.
I would. I would try and get. Yeah, they were good. They were good. I did watch them. I always watch them in case you do get to see them. And like I said before, everyone, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna do this without Fee. This is Fee's thing. So if Fee doesn't get to watch it,
Nice.
we don't get to see it. We still do the interviews when they come up, of course. But like in terms of power, Fee needs to watch it. Otherwise, it doesn't. I will always watch it because it's my lunch break. That's why I do in my lunch break. I enjoy it, but I'm not going to review it on my own. So hopefully we'll see it next week. Anyway, but
Fingers crossed.
look, you mentioned Inside the Ropes. You mentioned what you've got coming up there. What else does one have coming up?
What else? As I quickly pull up my calendar. So I actually have this weekend off, which is really
Mhm.
nice. I have no shows this weekend, which is lovely. A
Nice.
wee weekend off. January and February are generally quite quiet for wrestling for me, and it starts to crank up towards the end of February, beginning of March. So
Yeah,
next weekend, on Friday the 27th, we have the PBW All Women's Show in
lovely.
Clydebank, which is going to be a banger. This is our third one that we've run, and everyone's been better than the one before. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And then on Saturday the 28th, I'm at Saltire Championship Wrestling in Inverkeith. I don't know, Inverkeithing, somewhere in that general direction for the Broadway Rumble. So we're having a little rumble. So that's always a fun
Hey,
time. And then what have we got after the weekend after that is Respect Pro Wrestling and then PBW and Armadale as well. So it starts to ramp up a little bit after that, which is good.
good.
And then it's my birthday.
Is it? Oh no, is that a hint?
No, just that.
Just is your birthday. Well, that's good. Those good. You got things coming up. Let's just start with some guests before I go into the controversy and stuff that happened this past Sunday. Um, we're gonna have a very we're gonna I'm gonna announce it because it's gonna happen. It's just when Uncle Eric's paying us a visit again, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bischoff will be back on the show soon, which is lovely to know. Looking forward to
I was
having it.
trying to do a love heart with my fingers, but I can't do it because I have to do it that way maybe.
There you go, Eric.
I
Just
can't see him. That doesn't even look like I'm trying to there. I love you, Eric.
we love you, Uncle Eric. We
We
can't
do
wait to have
love
you
Uncle
back.
Eric.
I'm gonna have a collaboration with Zaina as well. She's another she does a lot of things in pro wrestling. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. A guy at Wrestling Life, Ben, I think he interviewed Kenny, funnily enough, a little while back. He wrote Mark Mero's book.
Oh, Ben Veal.
Yeah, Benville, that's the man. Yeah,
I know Ben.
yeah, he'll be on very very soon as well. And yeah, I'm confident enough to announce it. The Virtuosa will be coming on the show as well. Diona Perazzo will be joining us
Nice.
in the near future. Anyway, it's not quite ready to be announced properly yet, but it's a near future one. I have coming soon when it's pretty much there, and near future when it's nearly there. So that'll be there. If you want to see some TNA stuff, go and check out my interview with The Righteous. That's in the now new TNA exclusive playlist. There's 18 interviews there at the minute, all from the roster of TNA. Some of the previous roster as well now, because Speedball Mike Bailey, Hammerstone, who we see on the NWA as well, is on there as well. So go and check that out. But I do need to address some issues that happened this past Sunday. Obviously, look, first things first, before we get to that, I have to say congratulations. Chris Aries, your Grand Slam champion, now the Turnbuckle champion. Yeah, can't wait to be working with you. Maybe you can smile once in a while. But there is a video.
Maybe you're not coming across as very enthusiastic about that.
Yeah. Well, but commiseration to Isaac Blair, and thanks for stepping up last minute. You done an amazing job. You were very unfortunate not to come away with the championship on this occasion. But those of you that would have seen the video that was been shared across social medias will know that we had a little incident after Taylor James lost the heavyweight championship to Tommy Tanner. The ugliness that spilt from the backstage went into the foyer in front of the fans that we don't really like to get involved in. Taylor and now three members of the rebellion now, which is great. So we get another two fuckers to deal with. Yes, it wasn't very nice. Very unsavory scenes. Look, the general manager CJ Carter will ultimately have I'm sure he'll have an announcement to make on that in due course. But apologies to everybody, the sold out crowd that witnessed the aftermath, shall we say, of what was an incredible show this past Sunday at Ignite. Tickets are on sale though for the end game. For the bank holiday in May, the first one in May, the third. There you go, 3rd of May. Go and get them. I think the 50 have already gone. Not surprised if you went on the show on Sunday for what you saw in the ring. You're going to get some exciting stuff, and some of the other stuff will probably play out as well from my last time. But anyway, Fee, look, as long as you get to see NWA next week, are we going to be back for another episode and another showing of NWA here?
We will be.
Good. Well, say
Pray for
go
me,
and see.
people.
What's that? Pray for
I
you.
said, pray
Yeah.
for me, people.
Pray for Fee. Pray for Fee. And check us out at HTT Buckle everywhere. But until next time, everybody, hopefully next week for the NWA Power Review. She's Fiona, I'm Adam, and you've watched the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and bye bye.